Hello again, thanks for choosing us. Now, residents of AKATSI have resolved to petition the IGP over the death of two persons following their clash with the police. This was occasioned by an operation by the police to keep sanity in the AKATSI South municipality. A police riot van is reported to have rammed into three youth on a motorcycle, leading to the death of one person. This was during a hot chase by the police after suspecting them to be culprits of a recent robbery. In an interview on the AM show, the assemblyman for the area, Wanda Gatapet, said they will petition the IGP for justice.
Incident that we're having. So where then do you seek justice? Are you going to petition, for example, the Inspector General of Police? Have you reached out to the regional minister, for example, who is chairperson of the RegSec? What has been the move to get some investigation going into this matter?
Well, I would say, even as of yesterday, though I wasn't around, I was monitoring everything on the radio stations in our town. So I realized that when it got to a stage, I heard the regional commander and then the regional crime officer, including our MPE, and then our municipal commander. I heard them all on radio, trying to console the families and then to persuade the youth to prevail peace in the area. So for now, I would say the issue has already gotten to a higher level. So I believe as professionals at the top, they know how they're going to deal with this issue. The whole incident on social media. So per what I heard is just similar to what, or same as what Brother Solomon just narrated. Yes, that is what I heard. So when I came back, I tried looking for the families of the deceased, and then we went to them just to go and then to console them, also to hear the actual story. And just as Brother Solomon said, those were the news we also heard. So this morning we're also trying our best to get to the police to also hear their part. Because when an incident happens like this, you don't just listen to one side and then you draw your conclusion.
Well, a security analyst, Adib Sani, has encouraged the residents to go ahead with their intention to seek justice, but without the involvement of the police in the process. According to him, the police have been indicted in the incident and they may protect their own.
Unfortunate incident. Some of us received the news with utter shock because for that many persons to die in the hands of the police is definitely a worrying phenomenon. However, the violence that we are witnessing is as a result of the mistrust people in the area have in the police. As a matter of fact, I have taken the trouble to speak with some one or two persons, and they pointed to previous encounters with the police, especially between the police and the youth. And there's widespread mistrust and lack of confidence in the police. And so sometimes some of these frustrations simmer until a trigger causes people to respond. So I think that this should serve as a unique opportunity on the part of the police to win the hearts and minds of the people by ensuring that proper investigations is conducted, by ensuring that if their men are found culpable, they should be dealt with according to the law. They should also give the opportunity to the police to reach out to the people in the area to get them to buy into the idea that the police is their friend, which invariably would engender their trust and confidence.
Let's talk about evidence. Selom tells me that some residents there have, the police has been accused of using live bullets together with rubber bullets and that they have evidence. On the other hand, we also have the bit concerning the van concerned, which supposedly rammed into the three on a motorbike, which again, allegedly was hastily repaired. Is this tampering with evidence?
Well, I'm not a lawyer, but it's quite obvious. Even if there's a scratch on a police property, you have to report it. You don't have to make any attempt to even clean it with a brake fluid. And so the fact that there was a hasty attempt to clean up the mess obviously is indicative of an attempt to cover up, and that should also be looked into. In recent times, the police has been very high-handed, with respect to the fight against, armed robbers. Today, you hear 3 persons gunned down, suspected to be robbers.
Let's get some more on this. Join us on phone is DMC for the area, Martin Kofiche Nyahe. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on Joy News today. What's the current security situation in the municipality?
Thank you for calling. On Friday, somebody reported to the police officers in AKATSI that there are 3 boys on a motorbike who snatched a traveling bag from somebody, and the person has reported to the police. When the police went to the scene, they've seen the 3 guys on a motorbike, and they were making signs for them to stop, but they refused to stop. So they chased them, and then in the course of running, they fell with the motor, and the police people took them to the hospital. But the police were saying the police officers used their car to hit the back of the motorbike. That caused the accident.
Indeed. What we want to know now is what the current situation is in the town. We know that the youth were agitated, but as we speak, is there calm in your municipality?
Oh, the municipality is very calm. This morning is very calm.
And we know that MUSEC started its own investigations into this. How far have you gone, and what can you share with us?
As I'm speaking to you now, the crime officer is the one they've assigned for the investigation. Sooner or later, the outcome will come out.
And we know that, like you recalled in what happened, 3 youth were on the run. The police, unfortunately, knocked down 1 person who died. What is the state of the 2 other people who survived this?
Yeah, the 3 people on the motorbike. One of them, his condition is very critical. They sent him to the hospital, Rich Hospital in Accra. Okay. And he was pronounced dead. Yeah. That made the youth to be agitated against the police. And they came to the police compound, throwing stones at the police. And the police too are firing guns to protect their lives. In the course of that, the bullet hit one of the youths, and then he was taken to hospital, and he has also passed on.
Okay, so as we speak now, 2 people have died in this incident.
Yes.
Okay, and are there others who have been injured who are receiving medical attention?
They are in a hospital now in Road 66 Artillery Hospital.
How many of them?
2 of them.
2 of them. Okay.
Yes, so I'm at the hospital right now with the relatives to go and see them.
Very well. Thank you very much, sir, for your time here on Joy News today. We'll follow up on this in our subsequent bulletins. And that's the Municipal Chief Executive for the area, Mr. Nyahe there. Let's do some other stories. Now, the Central Regional Police Command is on their hands for 1 man who is suspected to have defiled a 10-year-old girl at Ibradunkwa in the Central Region. Now, a circuit court in Cape Coast has already remanded 3 persons who were also suspected to have defiled 10-year-old girl. Now, parents of the girl, who is 10 years, has been sexually abused by at least 6 men in the community, putting her in a critical condition. Central Regional Minister Justina Marigold Asen, who visited the Ibra Dungwa community, has promised she will ensure that justice is done. Richard Kojinyako has more in the following report.
Intimidate Hunde Kwa, Nasa Sepoto, Namsidebi, Mendado, the hospital. na me de no kware.
On the 24th of March, the mother of the 10-year-old was informed that someone had defiled her daughter. She examined her daughter carefully and realized that she's been sexually violated to the point that she could not walk properly, could not pass urine and eat herself normally, and had to be assisted with diapers. She narrates she took her to the police station where a medical form was issued for her to take to the hospital. She stated that at the hospital it was ascertained that she had been defiled.
Na me yimfuna nkasa ayaza wanya abofra ne ye.
Some of them have even taken her as their girlfriend. They just come for her and have sex with her. She's been defiled to the point that if we don't assist her with diapers, then there is trouble. She can't urinate and eat herself like any normal girl does.
First one, six in a friend.
Some of the people who have done this to the girl have run away. Some have been arrested though. Central Regional Minister Justina Marigodasan promised her outfit would follow the case and ensure that the perpetrators were brought to book.
No, who boy, my mishide, not a bon, they are messiafu. Oya bonda ya yemesiafu o Sunday mambenyifu wo ye no ya atete binum menyifu binum wo ye no ya atete o mama kumetua made ija uba besia ezimo obi a.
It's heartbreaking to say this. Is it a crime for us to be born women? Why do some of the men do this to us? It's God that protects us now. It's mind-boggling that a girl that should be in school should be subjected to something like this. I'm happy you reported the matter. This will make us bring the perpetrators to book. We'll follow this until justice is served.
Police station. Amma. Bona wezi. Aban muso wanyinkofun wezi ni ye. Maso bisumbu wadamadwe mbombo bebia. Words are some humpo or man mama on yebi. Into the master Miss Hebeze papa. Yebeze machade, Fifi Mantomhan, Ibirin Sibio.
Regional Director of the Department of Children, Richlove Amamu, thanked the mother of the victim for gathering the courage to report the issue to the police. She recounted how many of such issues are not reported.
Abofrane aunt na tuno. Say yeni abofrane yetu no mu na wan kata so no sana e wo se enye nia ye kan se wo kan ntem ati.
I thank the mother for reporting this. If such cases are reported early, we take her through lots of medical procedures to deal with sexually transmitted diseases and other things she may have been infected with. Let's not sleep on things like this.
Binsu a wonya yare bi a wonya ene tu wo ma wo mo boss abra no ye bechi wo ma atomo but who awofo no kata so a.
The three suspects who were put before court are John Armour, 28 years, Frederick Nyaku, 42 years, and John Ofori, 45 years. They were charged with defilement, their plea taken and remanded into prison custody to reappear on the 21st of April. The Central Regional Police Command says efforts are being made to arrest the fourth person known as Kojo, who is currently on a run, to assist with them with investigations. Reporting for Joy News, Richard Kwejenyako, Cape Coast.
Central Region correspondent Kojinako joins us on the line with more on this. Richard, such an unfortunate incident there. Has the police been able to arrest the fourth person who is said to be on the run?
No, on the contrary, the police are yet to arrest the fourth person. He is still on the run, and that is what has been happening in that particular community. This is not the first time covering such a story. About 3-4 years ago, we reported a story of this nature, and people unfortunately go scot-free after even the story has broken and all of that. And so the police are making frantic effort, and this time the Central Regional Minister, the head of the Regional Security Council, is involved, and she is promising that they will deal with the perpetrators, and so they will beef up the security that is searching for that guy.
And you have been visiting the regional DOFSU office as well. What have you gathered so far?
So currently, 3 of them, they have been remanded and they are in police custody. So all that they are waiting is for the fourth person to also come, so that that fourth person will also be put before court. But currently, there are some assistance that they are giving to the victim. She is 10 years, and the parents allege that 6 people have so far slept with that person, and it's like the community, some of them have even taken her as their girlfriend. So whenever they desire is there, they come for her, and then they do that thing to her. So very, very unfortunate.
And Richard, just for clarity, did you say that she's unable, or did her parents say she's unable to control her urine or even stool?
Exactly. So the entire private part has been violated. And so when they went for the medical checkup, they ascertained that, in fact, a lot needs to be done to ensure that the girl lives very well, passes urine very well, and even eats herself very well. And so currently, they assist her with diapers in order for her not to ease on herself and even urinate on herself.
Richard, thank you very much. We hope that justice will prevail in this matter, that people will not go scot-free, as we've seen in other cases. Now, power transmitter Gridco says its reconstruction of some transmission lines here in Accra will not result in long periods of outages. Gridco had earlier issued a statement where it had served notice of outages starting Tuesday till end of June. The areas named to be affected included those in the Malam Achimota Aveno transmission lines. A new statement, however, says there wouldn't be any outages. That notwithstanding, some areas in the on the said transmission lines are already experiencing power outages. Let's share details of the first and second statement for a better appreciation of this issue. So they had issued a first statement where they said that, there will be some outages as a result of the works that they are undertaking. And then there was a second statement that says that there wouldn't be any outages. But then we know that some have already started experiencing outages, especially over the weekend. So this one says the Ghana Grid Company is reconstructing transmission lines from Achimota substation through Aveno to the Malam substation. The work involves taking out service 161 kV transmission lines. That's Achimota, Accra Central, Achimota, Malam from Saturday, April 9, 2022 to Thursday, June 30, 2022. The outage is to enable Gridco to upgrade the transmission capacity on each line. This important exercise is to meet the growing demand for electricity in Accra and its environs. The outage will affect customers served by the Electricity Company of Ghana distribution system crossing these transmission lines between the Achimota substation, Ajolu, and Aveno in Accra during the day for the stated period. So that is the initial statement that was released by Gridco. Then there was a subsequent one that sought to clarify to say that there wouldn't be any outages as a result of the same exercise to be undertaken by Gridco. This is the second statement on your screens. It says that April 10, 2022, our attention has been drawn to press reports with headlines such as Doomsor to hit Accra for 84 days in reference to a public statement issued by Gridco, which announced the commencement of the reconstruction of transmission lines from Achimota to Malam Station. Whilst we confirm the reconstruction work on our transmission lines has commenced since Saturday, April 9, 2022. We wish to assure the public that the ongoing work will not lead to any doomsor. Then move to the very final paragraph, which says that, or the last but one, as part of measures to improve power delivery in Accra and its environs, Gridco and ECG have commissioned the Pokwase and Kaswa substations. The bulk supply point to Kaswa, Accra Central Pokwase substation have enough transformer capacities to meet the desired demand without any load curtailment or load shedding. We wish once again to reassure Ghanaians that Gridco and ECG are collaborating effectively to deliver power whilst the reconstruction work goes on. So you see two different statements, and yet in this statement it purported to say that there was no such communication. Let's get some more clarity on this. Engineer Bernard Kwabna Asantejan is the manager at the Executive Office of Gridco. He says the outages being experienced are localized and have nothing to do with the ongoing reconstruction. He spoke to my colleague Benjamin Akatba on Newstex.
As far as this work is concerned, there is no outage associated with this work, and we are going to make sure that we do this with very, very, with very little disruption to public comfort. So that's what we want to do. And so people should be rest assured that we are going to do everything within our power to make sure that they have a supply as far as this work is concerned.
Bernard, just confirm for me, you say very minimal, if I heard you right, very minimal outages at a point. So there could be outages on the back of this?
We don't foresee an outage. We don't. And if we have to, definitely we'll have to come back to you and have a conversation. But as it stands now, we don't foresee any outage with this project.
We stay with energy. The Executive Secretary of the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission, PRC, Dr. Ishmael Aka, has observed that utility service providers will require more and targeted investment to make them more efficient. He explained that some of the providers are still using machines, some as old as 50 years, which have not seen any major upgrades to work. Executive Secretary Dr. Ishmael Aka made the observation after a two-day tour of utility service providers in the Western region.
Executive Secretary of PURC, Dr. Ishmael Aka, made the observation after a two-day tour of utility service providers in the Western region. He used the 2 days to engage management of ECG, Ghana Water Company Limited, GRICO, VRA and TICO TACA on their challenges and ways to make them more efficient. At ECG, their main challenge had to do with theft of cables as its ground-mounted transformers and road construction that affect its underground cables, which result in localized outages.
ECG has been doing well here in the region. Duration of outages and the frequency and a number of other indicators. I think their challenge mainly is cable theft, where people cut cables, they steal at times even live cables has been a challenge to them. There are also issues with this vegetation, where the overgrown vegetation affecting power supply and a few other challenges, but these were the two main ones.
Management of the Ghana Water Company lamented activities of illegal mining, obsolete machines, and lack of expansion as accounting to their inability to work efficiently.
Some of the key challenges that we have as a region is our water pollution, the illegal mining. And there are a lot of activities, not only in the illegal mining. There are a lot of construction going on in the upstream of most of the rivers that is heavily polluting our waters. So we have a seasonal problem, and that seasonal problem is about dredging and desilting of our intake, Dabuasi specifically, and Bonsa.
Dr. Ishmael Aka learned from GRICO that an additional transmission line will be required to guarantee uninterrupted power supply to critical areas in the Western region. Management of VRA and TICO TACA complained of high cost of gas, which makes them less effective. They also called for investment to increase their capacity.
Especially GRICO, they are looking at investment in alternative lines. As I said, the Siama line is single, and recently insulators, they had issue with the insulators, so they need to invest in some of those areas. When you come to ECG, due to the construction at Market Circle, where they have two underground cables, I think one of them was down and the other one tripped yesterday, so almost the whole of yesterday, some part of Takoradi was off. They need to invest in some of these lines, invest in transformers to make even a Siama, they need a substation so that the system can be stable.
Dr. Ishmael Aka also challenged customers to ensure that they pay their bills and help report persons who engage in illegal activities that affect the smooth operation of utility services providers. For Joy News, in Athalia Kwanza, Western Region.
You're watching Joy News today with me, Ernest Menu. Now, the Public Utilities Regulatory Commission is asking the Ghana Water Company in the Central Region to adopt local solutions to resolving its water production challenges. This follows a complaint by the Ghana Water Company that water shortages in Cape Coast and its environs as a result of galamsey activities that sometimes leave some of the production lines and sites with no water to process. Richard Kojinako has more on the following report.
However, because there's a trade-off, see, when the raw water source is so bad, you cannot put in too much chemicals beyond the needs of a human being. So we have to also be measured in not introducing too much that will tend to be a disadvantage when it is used for human consumption. And let me quickly add that the color alone of the water doesn't imply that it is not wholesome.
Central Regional Manager of the Ghana Water Company, Kesea, reacting to issues about water shortages and what is accounting for the challenge in supplying water to some of its customers in Cape Coast and its environs.
With the infiltration of galamsey, even the quality of the raw source of water turns bad. Then volumes also reduce. Then it gets to our intake. Now we have to struggle. So, for instance, in a very bad situation, you may not get sufficient quantities of water to even extract before you start the production process. So for some of our production centers, there's no water to produce. Then for areas that we can produce the water, the extraction becomes difficult. For some, we even have to do desilting at the edges of the intake to create more room for the volumes to build up.
He says if care is not taken, the situation may get dire and appeal to the residents to help protect the water sources.
Then it means regularly we have to do what is called backwashing, because it clogs the dirt, clogs our machines in a shorter period instead of allowing the production process to be longer. So we have to break production and clean our filters before we restart production. Because of breaks and then restarting, you may have to do 12 hours or less. So eventually, in terms of labor, our staff on the plant, the effort, electricity cost, chemical cost, all combined together increases the cost of the production at particular production centers, depending on how bad the raw water source. I would say it is more rampant now than it used to be in the past.
Away from utilities, experts are warning that parts of the Weija Hill close to the Kaswa toll booth face imminent collapse. They say human activities like sand mining and blasting of rocks have affected that part of the ridge. Hence, heavy rainfall or earthquake in the area can result in a landslide. Maxwell reports that in spite of the warning, some residents say they feel safe. He's been speaking to them as part of the Joy in Mind community program here on the Joy News channel.
The captivating view of part of the Weija Hill overlooking the Accra Cape Coast Highway. Beautiful view which continues to attract estate and private developers. A team of experts visited the Weija Ridge some weeks ago and passed a scary verdict. They say as a result of the human activities such as sand mining and quarrying activities, the hill has become weak and faces imminent collapse.
This place, the tremor, you can be there sometimes, you experience it twice or 3 times a day. Wow. Very sharp. You get up on your bed, then it's just gone.
Yeah. This is dangerous.
Yeah, they done it because they quarry the sand for other work at, I think, around Tetekwashi interchange. This is why they had the sand.
Okay.
To fill those places. So that side, there's an erosion part there, which it could be a landslide one day. Wow. That down there could be a landslide. Oh, living at that edge there is dangerous. And people still quarrying stones over there. You go there, they are there quarrying stones. And nobody, the Environmental Protection Agency, the municipal assembly, nothing is done about it. You see them there.
Okay.
You see those people there.
You want something to be done about it?
Something should be done. Something should be done over there so that it will prevent others.
Okay.
Well, you put up a mansion and all of a sudden, one day you come and it's gone.
Kesea has lived in this community for the past 2 decades. He tells me that as a result of the human activity on this hill, anytime it rains, there's a collection of silt onto the main Accra Kaswa highway, just some meters away from where I'm standing. It says that usually causes a gridlock on the stretch. He is quite concerned about the situation.
Our first challenge, I would say, is the road to the community. The road is very bad, and whenever it rains, the road always wash away the soil from the road, and it's very difficult for the cars to come to the town. And whenever there's a program or an event, the people find it difficult to come to the town because of their cars. And our network problem, there's a network problem because we are under the mountain. The network has passed over us, so it is difficult. Whenever you want to make a call, sometimes you find it difficult. You call, they say it's switch off. Someone will call you saying it's not you are out of coverage area. This is the problem we are facing. There's no dangerous at the top there, but when they started taking the sands from the mountain, they came to stop them, and they've stopped. But when you go to the top there just like where we are now. It's very safe and nothingness. Supposedly they are continuing using that site for stone quarry and those things. I'll say it will be dangerous. But what they've stopped now, it is not going to be dangerous. It's okay.
A road and building engineer, Abdullah Muhammad, says debris obstruction flow of traffic on the Kaswa-Accra-bound lane in recent days is evident of the looming danger. He tells residents to relocate to save their lives and property before they have no option under the prevailing circumstance.
There should be an extensive education, investigation, further investigation. You know, we want to do the reconnaissance study, the deck study, but there should be an extensive education and investigation. Some of the buildings, obviously, when you just see them, they have to be evacuated. People have to start leaving the place because they were. So once we identify those which are, likely to be affected with this coming rain, those will have to be evacuated, and then we put in a certain plan that periodically would have to get others who are less in danger to get out of the place so that we can loosen. See, there are a lot of loose material. What we'll do as engineers is that we'll have to go in with machines, and then all the loose areas would have to be removed, and what we call the berm. We have to berm the mountain because the houses are so close. So some of the houses have to be broken down. Very severe. The county may not be able to work on it as expected. We're going to have a lot of buildings there who are going to be covered total by the backslide. We'll be fortunate if it happens within the day, and people may be active or they'll have a lot of caution because they know the situation around the areas. But if it happens in the night when people are actually asleep, wouldn't wake up the next morning to have a very good story or a good news about what will happen within that area. What worries me is that all that we have enumerated, the activities are ongoing. A lot of construction activities are still ongoing. And sadly, when you check the people who are staying within those areas, they have permits from the assembly. So in even government trying to ward off the people, what is the assembly itself doing in issuing permit to the people, knowing that those areas are dangerous for habitation of human lives?
You're watching Joy News Today with me, Ernest Main. Now, stakeholders in the fight against child marriage have commended the multimedia group for its impactful reportage on the phenomenon in the Ashanti region. At least 10 juveniles who were married off to men 3 times their age were saved through a collaboration between the Police Domestic Violence and Victim Support Unit, DOVSU, and the organization. Now, the traumatized victims, some of whom considered suicide to end their pains, were featured in a Joy News Hotline documentary, Child Bride, put together by Ohim Interior.
she was married off to a man in a country she doesn't know.
Ghana is home to over 2 million child brides. That is according to UNICEF. The Child Bride Project did not only investigate and rescue victims, but also ensured victims enrolled in school, while recalcitrant parents and relatives were prosecuted.
You've taken the lead, and let me congratulate you for taking the lead and for showing concern that yes, it's something that is dear to your heart. You recognize the problem and that you believe that you also need to do your part. I will request other media houses to do the same.
Ashanti Regional Officer Commander Superintendent Susanna Derry described the multimedia group's intervention as life-saving.
Multimedia, when they were involved in this, through their effort, we have gotten admission for some of the girls, and I'm specifically happy for this girl who was taken outside Ghana and she escaped, because she had then completed BEC and she was to go to SS and they took her away. You see, admissions and all that was almost done, but the multimedia was able to get with their maybe networking, they were able to get a school, rescues that are done in the night. We cannot get social welfare to permit us to get to the shelter and all that. They are able to see some hoteliers who will offer to keep such victims.
UNICEF warns Ghana risk missing out on meeting the Sustainable Development Goal 5 of eliminating all harmful practices such as child, early and forced marriage by 2030. Joyce Odame is the Child Protection Officer at UNICEF, an international organization working in more than 190 countries to reach out to most disadvantaged children. She is enthused by the role played by the multimedia group in reaching out to disadvantaged children.
I must commend multimedia for demonstrating this kind of interest and commitment to this issue that is plaguing our country. Definitely the government alone cannot, do it.
For the president of the Psychiatric Association of Ghana, the energy level of the multimedia group amazes her. Dr. Ruth Osonji wants more of such initiatives from MGL.
I say a big kudos to multimedia. You do all. And when people sit somewhere, they may not even think about an issue like this. And sometimes I get amazed that people who are lay in terms of lay in the mental health sector would think deep about issues pertaining to mental health. It amazes me and actually impresses me, and it is a good work multimedia is doing.
The two-part Child Bride documentary has increased discussion on the issue with a call from victims for more action to end the practice. From Kumasi, for Joy News, Ohiminteria reporting.
Joining us today with me, and Smini Beverly Broom is standing by with the latest in business after the break. Stay with us.
It's time now for business. I am Beverly Broom. Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta still has the power to vary thresholds for applying the tax on electronic transfers, whose implementation began from 1st May. This was captured in a notice released by the Ghana Revenue Authority on the implementation of the e-levy. My colleague George Riafe has the rest of the story.
This was highlighted as part of the notice that the Ghana Revenue Authority sought to explain to the public that transfers coming from an individual's bank account will be subjected to a threshold that will be taxed, but determined by the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta. For some, This may come across as a big relief, especially for those that are pushing for the 100 Ghana cedis that will be excused from the tax should be up to 200 Ghana cedis. It is not clear for now whether the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, may want to review this threshold or wait and see how the tax will perform. The Deputy Minister of Finance, Dr. John Kuma, has announced that government has revised its expected revenue from the levy by the end of this year to 4.5 billion Ghana cedis from the initial 7 billion Ghana cedis. The Ghana Revenue Authority has also announced that the tax will take off from the beginning of next month and to charge 1.5% of the electronic transfer done at each time. It will also cover transfers from bank accounts to mobile money accounts, as well as mobile money transfers done between accounts on the same electronic money issuer.
The Ministry of Trade and Industry says it is taking steps to introduce regulations for cement manufacturing in the country. Deputy Minister in charge of the industry, Michael Ochre-Befi, says this will ensure improvement in standards of cement products. He spoke at the launch of a partnership between cement manufacturer CMEF and the Kumasi Technical University. Nanaya Aljima filed this report.
Some of the cement manufacturers are not.
According to the Deputy Minister, regulating the cement industry will ensure sector players uphold standards. Though some activities of the industry are under regulation, there is need for holistic regulations. Mr. Ochre-Befi says the goal is to ensure production of quality products will positively affect building in the country.
A foreigner or Ghanaian can just say that, oh, I'm starting cement manufacturing. Let me just write to Ghana Standards Authority or go to EPA and take permits. That's all. Others are only taking interest in doing quantity or doing a lot and selling it cheap without taking so much interest in quality. So that's how come we are trying to look at coming out with a specific regulation to regulate activities.
It is identified that poor knowledge of cement products by artisans have often caused failure of cement works. Joseph Kobna Abu is head of marketing at CMAF.
People think cement is cement, but we have different grades, different quality, and different types of cement that is available to use. So this training will help the customers or the masons to be able to identify and apply the right method which is to be used for them to get better results.
Our mandate as a technical university is to train among others.
The Kumasi Technical University is finding ways to address issues of cement failure in the construction industry. The Alliance for Excellence Partnership with cement manufacturer CMAF will train 4,800 artisans in the next 4 years. Dr. Smart Sapon is head of Institute of Research, Innovation and Development at KSTU.
This relationship with CMAF covers 4 focus areas. One is what would train about 1,200 cement user artisans every other year. We are looking to do this for the next 4 years, and 1,200 of master craftsmen in cement using would be trained. We know, yes, they have some level of training, but we believe that with the changes in time, with the modern ways of doing things, with the rate of construction failure, we need to bring them back to the university to be retrained on how things should be done properly, and then how the various grades of cement can be used to enhance construction integrity.
For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima reporting.
That will be all for business. For more news, kindly log on to myjoyonline.com.
Let's do sports now on Joy News today with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullah. Board member of Accra House of Folk, Dr. Nyanyo Tamakula, has revealed the club will petition the Ghana Football Association to review the performance of matchday referee Kenneth Joseph Paddy, who officiated the Super Clash on Sunday. According to him, Mr. Paddy almost marred the game with poor decisions.
The referee nearly marred the match.
And I thank God that didn't happen. We have had an experience like that before in 2001 that nearly brought this country to a standstill. Over 100 people lost their lives. So when a referee is misbehaving, it is the duty of every Ghanaian football lover, not just supporting a club, but if you want the safety of the game, you have every right to comment on. And what happened yesterday, in particular, what do you call it? The penalty.
The penalty decision?
I mean, you are all football watchers. Is this a penalty? Is this a penalty? I have noticed carefully that Brazilian footballer who is fond of creating problems when there are no problems. And that's exactly what he did yesterday. They are experts in those things, even at international level. So if you ask me of football, particularly what Paddy did yesterday, he must be ashamed of himself.
The Ghana Football Association has created a platform where clubs can file complaints to them if they feel that a referee's performance was under par. Would House of Oak consider filing to the GFA to have the referee punished, since you feel
that we shall do that? Therefore, we shall come out with a statement, protest vehemently about his behavior, and then take the necessary next steps that we have.
And this is how we wrap up sports here on Joy News today with me, Muftau Nabila Abla. You can head on to myjoyonline.com and read some more sports story. I'll be back at 2 p.m. with Sports Today.
And the season 4 of Adom TV's Nkrumah grand finale came alive at the West Hills Mall with Inshirakoto emerging as the winner of the competition. Here are some highlights for you.
Hi, my name is Mami Boatema, the Fantador. Welcome to Nkrumah season finals here at the West Hills Mall. So we are here to find out who is crowned the Nkrumah season 4 winner. Nkrumah competition went all over Ghana and auditioned for kids who have the voice, kids who can sing, and came up with 30 contestants who started off the show. And now we have 7 contestants who are battling it out in the finals here at the West Hills Mall. Tonight, history will be made. Who will be crowned as Nkrumah season 4 winner? Let me take you through the highlights of the show.
I'm feeling good. I'm feeling beautiful and anything.
Are you very optimistic that you will be crowned the winner for Nkrumah season 4?
Yes.
Oh, very sure.
Yes.
How is the feeling like for
champion for Nkrumah season 4 2022 goes to no other than Inshirakoto!
Congratulations to Inshirakoto, and good luck to all the other contestants. Hopefully they also will be able to achieve their dreams even moving forward. That will be all for Showbiz. My name is KMJ. For more news, log on to myjoyonline.com. Next.
Thank you very much for bringing us, that piece. There are a lot of talent from our
Absolutely.
children. You want to catch the highlights on our Facebook and YouTube channels as well. That's it for our show. Many thanks for your company. Up next is Marketplace.